Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right-hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation. Oh yeah, it's going great, and thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
Of course, yeah, my pleasure, man.
Well, it's awesome to be able to talk about this brand new third album from Revolution Saints, Rise, which is just coming out in just a couple weeks now on Frontiers Music.
Yes, I think it comes out January 24th, maybe.
Oh yeah, 2 weeks from today.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be cool for people to hear some new Revolution Saints stuff, and it's a lot of fun to record with the guys. So looking forward to people hearing it.
Yeah, and I've gotten the chance to be able to check out this album over the last week or so, and I really love the direction that this album is going in. I mean, it feels like a natural progression from the previous two albums, and it feels like it's the right record to come out in 2020.
Yeah, it's definitely got a positive message to it, and of course, Dean sounds amazing on it, and he's such a great guy, great singer, drummer. I'm really happy that he was able to do another one. Of course, he was able to. I'm just glad that he was able to time-wise, that we all could get it together.
Yeah, and I am as well. I mean, being a fan since the first album, and it's amazing to see everything that has happened since the release of the first album in 2015. I mean, the fact that everything has been going in such a great direction in under a decade.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't plan on after the first album. I thought that was it, because it's a project. I mean, I think we should be clear about it, that we're not trying to sell it as a band. It's not a band per se, but it's a project that we enjoy doing. We have enjoyed these last years doing that, and you never know if it's going to be the last one or not. You don't know, but for now, we got a bunch of new songs that people can hopefully enjoy, and then see what happens. But yeah, initially it started off as Dean's solo album on the first one, and then it kind of turned into. I felt a little uncomfortable about doing a second record because I don't want to, lead the fans on. I feel like you really need to commit to something. Usually, if you're going to do it, you commit to supporting it as much as you can, and as much as we could, we have. But we're all very busy with, our main band.
Oh yeah, and that totally makes sense, and that's all the more reason why people like myself are so appreciative that all of you were able to find the time to be able to make this. I mean, anytime that there's a new Revolution Saints album, I mean, I get excited about it, considering everything that you guys got going on. Yeah,
me too, and I appreciate it. Dean and I are super busy with the Dead Daisies. We're finishing up our new record, and we're very excited about that. But in the time between when that comes out, we've got this Revolution Saints record to promote, so we're doing that at the moment.
And what is that like for you? I mean, when you do have something like a brand new Dead Daisies album coming out, and you're also promoting new Revolution Saints album, I mean, what is it like to be able to juggle all of these different things at once?
Well, I mean, the priority is Dead Daisies for me and Dean, and Jack's priority obviously is Night Ranger. Those are our bands. And people often say, they'll go, "Oh, you're doing so many bands. You got Burning Rain, you got Revolution Saints, you got Dead Daisies, you got this and that." But really, for me, it's the Dead Daisies is my main band. Revolution Saints is something I've been just fortunate to be involved in as a project. And it's really nice to deliver that kind of music. It's different than any other project or band that I'm in. So, but it's easy to do. You basically just need to find time when you can record, and that's what we've all done. Is just we would decide. Last year we decided, okay, let's have the record, recorded by the fall, and then sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yep, let's have the record recorded by the fall, and then we did that, and then they start making plans for promoting and doing stuff like that. Unfortunately, no live dates because, we're, like I said, we're busy with other things.
Oh yeah, and that absolutely makes sense. And, I'm also thinking about that as well, just the fact that you do have all of these different things going on at once. I mean, I imagine it's got to feel great for creativity as well, because you are doing different bands and projects that do sound very distinct from one another, and you're able to show off different sides of what you can do.
Yes. It's really, something fun to do, and but it's more about, it's not so much to show off things. It's more like, with Revolution Saints, we started something that was kind of a throwback to the '80s, and with a blend of, the way it was put to me. They wanted me to do a Whitesnake style production from the guitar end, and they wanted Dean to sing like he does, and then the songs were written by Alessandro in the first album, and then it just kind of morphed from there to where we wanted to, when we were asked to do this record and the second record as well, we wanted to give fans something that they would like, that's in that vein. So not so much trying to show off anything as much as it is trying to give the fans, stay within the boundaries of where the Revolution Saints started,
Oh yeah, and that totally makes sense. And, again, when it comes to Rise, I mean, I'm glad to see that happen as well, too. I mean, being able to have that distinct sound that's going on there. And much like you mentioned in the beginning as well, it does have this great, overwhelming, positive message that's going on throughout. And, there's a lot of dark stuff that's going on these days. And it's always great to be able to hear a great album like this and be able to have something that's more positive rather than negative.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we got to roll with it. But it's kind of music for people to escape a little bit.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens to me when I listen to the album. I mean, whether it's more faster paced, whether it's more of the ballady type, whether you're showing off different sides of what Revolution Saints can be. I mean, it just has this great flow throughout, and between all three albums, every album does have that great flow between it, but when it comes to Rise, I mean, I really do appreciate the feeling that it does feel like an album rather than just a collection of songs thrown together. Like, it feels like these songs were meant to be played with each other.
I think so too. Alessandro works really hard on trying to start off with ideas that are in that vein, and he's really the big reason for the continuity, I think. Because I think the first album came out, and I thought, hey, this is cool, and we didn't plan on doing another record, or at least I didn't. And then when we did do another record, I wanted to do something that was a little edgier, like that had some more moods, a little deeper, And on Rise, the record company said, look, this is just a project that you guys, we want to go back to, a little bit closer towards the first album. And so it kind of morphed between those first two records, and that's what we got with Rise. So I think it's good. I think it's good that, all three records have a thing that goes between, a thread that goes between them, but at the same time, it doesn't sound like we did the exact same formula every time. It sounds fresh.
Yeah, and I think that's a great distinction of a band really or a project really progressing in their sound. And, it's just, especially, again, with everyone being able to find the time to be able to do this, I mean, it could be very easy to just throw together riffs that would have sounded like the first album and just call that a new album. But the fact that there is a distinct sound between all three of them, and none of them sound exactly alike, and they each have their own different kinds of vibes to it, I think is such a cool thing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's good to keep it fresh and not try and recreate what you've done anytime. Anytime you try to recreate something, I think you get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, I totally feel that as well too. I mean, if there's a direction, if you want to be like influenced by something, I mean, that's a huge distinction rather than like trying to sound like something else. But just being able to have that feeling of going the right direction that you want to go and not having so many restrictions on it, I think it's just a great way to go. And even with a Rise, kind of bringing it back to the first album, it does not sound like the first album. It sounds like a natural progression in 2020, and I think that just shows what all of you are capable of. Just not recreating that first album again, and just keeping going with the sound. And whether this is the last album or there's many more albums to come, I mean, it's great to see where you are right now.
Cool, thanks, man.
Oh, absolutely. So, with that in mind, I mean, obviously with the album coming out in a couple weeks now, and of course with releasing singles and everything, have you heard any response from the album yet?
A little bit. People seem to be really excited about it, but I don't really I mean, basically when you go in to do a record, I mean, when you're a young band, you probably think more about it. You know, you worry about, hey, I want to make sure people really, really like it. But as you get older, you really need to play for yourself. I mean, that's where the inspiration comes from. It can't come from trying to do what you think people want you to do. So I haven't really worried about it. I hope people like it, of course. I mean, that's, you know, try hard to play something. But the first thing I got to do is make sure that I'm happy with it. And then the people, you know, the fans would, if I'm happy with it, at least I can stand behind it, and hopefully they'll like it too.
Yeah, and that's such a great way to look at it as well. I mean, especially in this stage, I mean, when you're able to play the music that you want to play, and, you know, with a project like this, being satisfied with the music that you were able to record, I mean, that is what should come first, and any response that comes after that, especially if it's positive, it's just a bonus.
Yeah, that's right. I agree.
So again, with that in mind, I mean, obviously, with this album coming out in a couple weeks now, and like you mentioned in the beginning, there's some new Dead Daisies coming in the works. How is that coming together?
It's great. We've got the voice of Rocks in the band, and Glenn Hughes, and he's incredible. He sounds incredible with the band, and it's a really good blend of new music and something fresh for Dead Daisies fans. Of course, we're gonna miss John and Marco, but Glenn's come in and he's just killing it. It sounds so great.
Oh, and that is so great to hear that too. I mean, obviously change can be a hard thing that happens, especially when it comes to a lineup, but I'm glad to see everything has come together like this. And I'm very excited to see what's going to be happening with the next Dead Daisies record. I mean, it feels like the band just continues to keep going better and better, and now just my hopes for the new album is just like it's going to be even better now. I mean, especially when I hear you being so excited about it.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Glenn's. I love what he does, and it's really fun. And you know, the Dead Daisies it started off very similar to how bands like Deep Purple started off, which is Deep Purple started off to be a roundabout of musicians coming in and doing their part, and then when they've got something else going on, they go do that, and that's what the Dead Daisies have been doing since they started. And so it's really fun to welcome somebody as talented as Glenn into it. He's really he's so talented.
Yeah, I mean, he does do such magnificent work, and you know, the fact that you're getting to work with him, and then with the brand new material that's coming out. I mean, if 2020 wasn't good enough with Revolution Saints, I mean, the fact that new Dead Daisies is on the horizon and everything that's going to be coming with that, I mean, it's going to be a great time to be in your position right now. Absolutely.
I'm blessed to wake up and be able to create music every day. It's really something that I don't take lightly. I'm really thankful to the fans that support, and you know, and I love it. I wake up, I play guitar, and then when I'm not touring, I've got a lot of time with my children, which is the best.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you get to be in that position where you get to live as a musician and you're still able to have a family that you're able to love and take care of, I mean, you get the best of both worlds that way.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely.
Oh, awesome. I think that's an absolutely positive note to end on. And again, thank you very much for taking this time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on in your world right now. Of course, the brand new album from Revolution Saints, Rise, coming out in 2 weeks through Frontiers Music. New Dead Daisies coming out on the horizon. It was awesome to be able to talk to you, hear how positive and happy you are with everything that's going on in your world right now. And again, I just thank you for taking the time to be able to talk to me about all of it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate your support, and look forward to getting the record out there. Thank you, Josh.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right-hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation.